So this one's gonna sound more just like me complaining, I think. It's the 9th week of the fall semester. Only got another week to go, and then it's finals, and then winter break. And I don't know, it's like everything's online because of COVID, and it's just all weird. I'm finding it increasingly difficult to actually want to do or try to do my homework. I think that's just because, like, I don't know, I keep saying, oh, I can do it later, and then it comes to later, and I'm like, oh, I'm too tired to actually do it now, we'll do it later. And then I don't actually do it. I tried dealing with that during the spring semester. It didn't actually really work all too well. Ended up failing one of my classes, although that was also partially because it was a design class, like a design thinking class, and my teacher decided that we weren't going to hold any Zoom meetings or anything or really do anything face to face. It was all going to be held over message boards, and like the assignments, they were just 2 or 3 page long write-ups about weekly articles, and we were supposed to read those, do the write-ups, submit them onto the message boards, comment on like 5 other people's, and then edit those write-ups based on how people responded, as well as doing a project on the side that wasn't entirely described all too well. And I figured I could just do all of that at the end of the term, and then that ended up not happening. Ended up not working out, and I ended up failing. Frankly though, I don't know, I'm fine with that, I guess. Not really, but I mean, I'm fine with the fact that it took me until freshman year of college to finally fail a class. Like, it was also partially because of like extenuating circumstances. I'm sure that if the class was in person, I would have passed it just fine. I wouldn't have had any issues with it. But yeah, I mean, that's also just me making excuses. I failed the class when I shouldn't have. It should have been an easy class for me to do, and I was just stupid and I didn't do the required stuff for it. But yeah, so it's coming to the end of the fall term though, and there's only a little bit. I only have 4 assignments to do for one of my classes. That's just writing more write-ups of reading again, and that's frankly not all too hard. It's just I need to sit down and do it without getting distracted. But then for one of my other classes, I have to make a festival brochure that the teacher, I mean, we knew that we were going to be doing it this entire term. It's just she ended up giving it to us last week, so we only have 2.5, 3 weeks to work on it, whereas the other 2 projects we had 4 weeks each. So yeah, I don't know, it's again just sitting down and doing it. It's just I'm also constantly finding issues in actually doing that for some reason. The past week I've actually just been not sleeping all the best for some reason, and so then I spend the entire day tired. Like, it's not entirely like tired, it's more like drowsy. So then I keep laying down for a little bit and then not actually getting anything done. I think I just need to make more coffee and try drinking that, and then maybe I might be better. Yeah, and then also registration was the other day for winter term classes. Originally I was kind of debating on whether or not I wanted to actually do winter term, but I mean, I'm doing fall term just fine, I guess, and I did spring term last year just fine as well. And these are both online, so I figure I can do a winter term. It's just winter term, I also picked up the class that I failed, so it's a full 16 credits instead of just 12. I mean, I figure I should be able to do it. It's just, again, I'll need to like actually remember to sit down and get my stuff done. I keep finding distractions for myself. I keep watching a bunch of videos on YouTube, Hulu, Disney Plus, or just any of the other streaming services. Or I go on Reddit for a while, and it's just, I don't know, I keep finding a bunch of distractions for myself, and I keep trying to put my phone away, but then it's just kind of like blaringly silent. So then I try listening to my music, and then I start paying attention to the music too closely, and I keep skipping over songs. And I just start only paying attention to my music, and then that doesn't work either. I just need to try and be more focused on my classwork, and then I should be all fine. It's just actually doing that as well. I don't know, you'd think that a 19-year-old, almost 20, should be able to do this. But enjoying it, I guess. Enjoying life. Not really. I'm not. I'm not liking online schooling, and I don't like the fact that going to work is really my only in-person interaction that I have, other than perhaps going across the city to go visit my parents. But at the same time, I don't really want to be visiting them all too much, because I don't want to potentially give them COVID, since I have a potential of being exposed at work, including my potential coworkers. But we already went over on that, so. in-person schooling is so much easier. And I keep debating on whether or not next year, if that's, by the time next year, like the next school year rolls around and it would be my junior year of college, if that's going to be online, I keep debating on whether or not I would actually want to continue that, or if I might want to take a break, a year-long break from college, and like try and do other stuff before coming back, like let all the COVID kind of settle down. But at the same time, if I do take a year off, it could also potentially screw with things. I don't know. It's a bunch of different outcomes that I just need to think about, and yeah. So, loving it.